Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to sync VoiceOver to video. And this is a great tool that you're going to want to have in your arsenal. I get asked this a lot, and it's a part of many of my projects where I have a client who already has a video rendered, or maybe they already even have a voiceover rendered to the video and they want to replace the voiceover that they had. So I'm going to show you two different methods. There's obviously varying levels of complexity whenever it comes to this. Your hope is that the client was able to have the foresight and kind of test the timing of their video to the words that they're putting to the screen. Sometimes you need to read words as they're popping up on the screen for sections of the video. Sometimes it's effortless and there's nothing but visuals on screen and you just need to make sure that you get it in within a minute or 30 seconds or whatever the case is. So I'll give you two examples that I've done recently. So on my screen, you will see that I pulled the client's video up into the top right-hand corner. The script is in the bottom right-hand corner and I have my recording software. I use Audacity because it's free and I haven't outgrown it and it works just fine for voiceover needs on the left. And the first thing that I'll typically do is watch the video. And I got kind of lucky here because the client had put a temporary voiceover in the video and they timed it out. So this was pretty effortless for me to record, but you'll get the sense of what I'm doing. Okay, so I work with clients from all over the world and I'm always impressed with how good their English is. Sometimes there's little tweaks that you can make to the way that things are phrased to make it sound more fluent because they're hiring you because obviously they want it to sound fluent in English. So for example, in this, it says, don't enjoy the taste of water. I'm probably gonna just change that to, don't you just not enjoy the taste of water, and it'll fit just fine and nobody's gonna complain. They're usually appreciative that you kind of modify it in ways that it needs to be modified. So I'm listening to the pacing of the video. I already know that it's a 32-second script. If you want, you can count out the words to see exactly how the pacing is going to be. The average voiceover reads 2.5 words per second. But I kind of have a sense of the pacing and I do this a lot. So what I'm going to do is drag this to the top and I'm going to read the script. If you are unsure about the pacing, you can watch the video a couple times over, do whatever you need, but I'll just jump into it here. So as soon as I hit record, I'm gonna wait about 2 seconds exactly because that's how I time my voiceover so I can check back and forth and you'll see what I mean. Don't you just not enjoy the taste of water? Okay, so let's see how that is for a first take. So I'm going to mute the current voiceover so I can hear what my voice sounds like. And the main thing that I'm going to be paying attention to is if the words that I'm saying are lining up with whatever the content is on the screen. And this is where the 2-second delay comes in because I can hit play and then I have 2 seconds to get over to this button and hit play again. All right, so because this is on a 2-second delay, then we'll bring this back 2 seconds. So I'm gonna guess that I was a tad fast because this is actually ending at 29 seconds and the video itself is 32. But we're gonna take a look and see at what points it starts to not line up. Don't you just not enjoy the taste of water? Have you tried with different options and just end up going back to sugary drinks? Try different options to remind you to drink more water? Within minutes, the Dylan bottle creates alkaline water that not only hydrates you better, but tastes great. The VitaBee diffuser attached to the bottom of the Dylan bottle increases the pH of the water up to a pH of 9+, creating crisp, refreshing alkaline water with the Dylan bottle. Okay, yeah, so I think the only thing that seemed a little bit off was that very last sentence on creating crisp, refreshing alkaline water. The rest of them seem to line pretty perfectly. I think there was just like a millisecond somewhere in there, but let's focus on that last line. So we're just gonna do a quick pickup. So it's a bit more of a relaxed cadence on that. Let's look at it again. Creating crisp, refreshing alkaline water with the Dylan bottle. See? Okay, now you have the pacing for it. You get that it's a bit more relaxed of a delivery. I would probably, give a different delivery if I was actually focused on just one thing at this moment. But let's go ahead and do that pickup. Creating crisp, refreshing alkaline water with the Dylan bottle. So some of these projects are going to be multiple minutes long, and you don't want to be starting at the very top every single time to see if things are lining up as you're trying to modify them as you go along. So that's another reason why that 2-second delay comes in handy, because if I bring this to 22 seconds here and I drag the video to 22 seconds, this is still on that 2-second delay. So once it hits 24, then I can hit play over here and you don't have to listen to the first full 20 seconds. Bottom of the Dylan bottle increases the pH of the water up to a pH of 9+. Creating crisp, refreshing alkaline water with the Dylan bottle. Perfect! You see? How easy was that? So don't forget to delete that 2 seconds at the top before you submit it to your client. And they can just drop it straight into the video file. And if they want to make any teeny little tweaks, they can do it then, but you get the point. So the next project that I did for them was a tad more complicated, because this one is actual lip syncing to an actress on the screen, which means that the cadence and inflection and the way in which you're speaking needs to align with the way that her mouth is moving. You can't just do your own thing with this. So I tend to get a little bit of a running start when I do this. So you need to pay attention to the cadence in which the actress is speaking and watch her mouth and make sure that your lips are going to align with her lips or his lips, whichever the case is. So I'm going to get a bit of a running start with this. And I'm going to listen to her a few times over and just kind of repeat along with her and commit the words in that portion of the script to memory, because as she's talking, I want to be looking at her and saying the same exact words when I'm actually recording it.
So you already know alkaline water is the best kind of water, but it can get really expensive if you only buy premium alkaline water.
Okay, so you already kind of see how unique her pacing is and where her inflections and emphasis are lying and where her unique lengths of pauses are in that. So let's listen to that again and I'll repeat along.
So you already know alkaline water is the best kind of water, but it can get really expensive if you only buy premium alkaline water bottles. How expensive?
And then it's off her face and I can kind of speak at whatever pace I want, so long as it's lining up with the words on the screen. So this is how I would do that. I will put her on mute and I will watch her mouth as she is speaking. And I'll say the words at the same time. 2-second delay. Okay. So you already know alkaline water is the best kind of water, but it can get really expensive if you only buy premium alkaline water bottles. How expensive? Man, that was like perfect. Okay, let's bring that back and see how perfect. So you already know alkaline water is the best kind of water, but it can get really expensive if you only buy premium alkaline water bottles. How expensive? Let's try it one more time, because now I feel like I want to get it perfect. Even though this is just an example. Okay. So you already know alkaline water is the best kind of water, but it can get really expensive if you only buy premium alkaline water bottles. How expensive? So you already know alkaline water is the best kind of water, but it can get really expensive if you only buy premium alkaline water bottles. How expensive? Okay, so that's really about it. It's really that simple. And obviously, like I said, there's varying levels of complexity. But once you have the pacing and you kind of, have the feel of it and you're just reading through, then you can, maybe enunciate a little bit more. Don't slur your words or blend sentences together, because you want to be able to add little spaces of silence in between, or cut spaces in between as needed, as you're kind of going through and organizing it throughout. So the thing that I wouldn't suggest that you do is something that I used to try when I was first trying to figure out the best approach to these types of projects, which is I would have the script in the bottom corner, the video in the top corner, and my recording software on the left. And I would try to record the entire video while glancing back and forth between the script and the video. And let me tell you, that never worked for me a single time, because you're inevitably going to make some mistakes or flub a word, and then you're going to want to restart the whole thing over from the top because you're trying to get it perfect like that. It's never going to work. Just deal with it. You're going to match it on the back end when you're doing the editing. So you just want to set yourself up for success so it's easy to do that editing on the back end. So you want to get your pacing correct. You want to make sure that you know what your timestamp is, because that helps really integrate the idea of what the pacing should be in your head. And you want to make sure that you're not slurring your words or anything like that. You want to make sure that it's going to be easy for you to splice and kind of accordion it all the way through. So I don't really have anything else to say about that. I guess I'll see you next time. Bye.